Big news, breaking news, Chloe Bibby, who was recently on the Golden State Valkyries, has been signed to the Indiana Fever. This is not a huge surprise to me. I have mentioned it in multiple videos. She was doing really well with the Valkyries. I think she was only with them for about 5 games, while a lot of their players went over to Eurobasket.
To join the Fever and what's special about this opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm really excited. I had some stint there at Golden State and it was a great time. Went over, played with Australia and won a gold there, and that was great. So just to be back in the W and have another crack is really exciting. Really grateful for this opportunity here with the Fever and just excited.
The main thing I remember about Chloe was the fact that she could shoot, right? That's the main thing I remember about her. Watching her games with the Valkyries, if y'all don't remember that, she was on the Valkyries. I think she played for the preseason and she got signed again, then played like 5 games. She finished with like 42% shooting from the 3. So she could hit, man. She could really hit.
Chloe Bibby, the newest member of the Indiana Fever, her fit and whether she's a long-term fit for the Fever remains to be seen. But on the surface, on paper, it makes a lot of sense. Because this is a team that has been in dire need of, in my opinion, of a stretch 4. And that is what Bibby, skill set wise, is capable of doing. We don't have a huge sample size to work with. Obviously, she had a short spurt with the Valkyries.
The Indiana Fever just shook up the WNBA with a surprise move. And it might be the turning point Caitlin Clark and the entire franchise have been waiting for. It wasn't a blockbuster trade that dominated the headlines for weeks, but a quiet, calculated signing that speaks volumes about their new direction. After months of searching for the right pieces to elevate their game, they've signed Australian forward Chloe Bibby, a gritty team-first player who is all in on the mission. This isn't just another roster spot being filled. This could be the missing link that transforms the Fever from a promising young team into a true championship contender. Eyes on Indiana because things just got real.
But I remember specifically her shooting. She was shooting that thing, man. She was stretching the floor, and the Indiana Fever needs that. They need somebody that can help stretch that floor, make it more dangerous at that perimeter, make the defense respect that perimeter just as much as they respect the paint presence, right? So she can help with that.
Let's break down the anatomy of this perfect fit, because Chloe Bibby brings a specific and potent cocktail of skills that this team has been desperately missing. First and foremost, she is a legitimate floor spacing, 40+% from 3 kind of shooter. As a stretch 4, her mere presence on the court will fundamentally change the geometry of the Fever's offense. For months, defenses have been able to pack the paint, sending aggressive double teams at Caitlin Clark on the perimeter and collapsing on Aaliyah Boston in the post with impunity. Bibby's ability to knock down shots from deep is the antidote to that strategy. She will force opposing bigs to guard her on the perimeter, creating the crucial spacing that Clark needs for driving lanes and Boston needs for one-on-one post opportunities. On top of her shooting, she's a battle-tested winner with a resume full of international success, including winning MVP in Poland and a gold medal with the Australian national team. This isn't a rookie learning on the fly. This is a hardened professional who understands how to perform when the pressure is on. And perhaps most importantly, she comes in with the right attitude, talking about how she loves the team's fast-paced style and is super grateful for the opportunity. She's not an ego coming to steal the spotlight. She's a professional coming to win.
There were a lot of fans where the Fever are too slow. They want to play slow it down, grind it out basketball. Doesn't seem that way. Doesn't seem that way by the player they just signed and the messaging that is going across there. So that has to be reassuring for a lot of the fans. And Chloe Bibby seems to have a good head on her shoulders, a good attitude and a good approach.
This move is a long-awaited solution to a season-long problem that has, at times, made the Fever's offense look clunky and predictable. While Clark has been putting up historic numbers and Boston has been a rock in the paint, the team has consistently struggled with a lack of reliable outside shooting from their forward positions. This has been their Achilles heel, the one flaw that has held them back from reaching their true potential. Fans have been begging for a move like this on social media and podcasts for months, and the front office finally delivered. Bibby's arrival signals that the franchise is no longer just content with being relevant because of Clark's star power. They are getting serious about building a complete, modern roster that can actually compete for a title. It's a sign of organizational maturity, an acknowledgement of a clear weakness, and a decisive step towards fixing it.
While Brianna Turner is over there collecting dust, we need somebody off the bench that can come in with some size and rain threes until Damaris' dentist shot begins to fall and we go out and we get one. Chloe Bibby. Last time we saw Chloe Bibby, she dropped 12 points against the Indiana Fever. Wait for it, in her WNBA WNBA debut. She shoots over 40% from the field. She shoots over 40% from three.
What makes this story even more compelling is the delicious irony of her arrival, a plot twist that makes this signing feel like it was destined to happen. This isn't just some random pickup from the free agent pool. This is the same player who absolutely lit up the Fever earlier this season when she was playing for the Golden State Valkyries. In her WNBA debut, she dropped 12 points in just 24 minutes, drained clutch threes, and played with a fearless edge that gave Indiana fits. It was the ultimate if you can't beat them, sign him moment. The very player who exposed their biggest weakness, the inability to guard a floor spacing forward, is now on their roster to fix that exact problem for others. She went from being a problem for the Fever to being the solution, an opponent turned reinforcement. It's a poetic twist that feels like a chapter out of a sports movie.
Where were you when you got the news or got the call that the Fever were picking you up?
I was in China.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
how quickly were you, like, just scramble mode then coming over to the States, like pack a bag and go?
Well, yeah, I was already in, so I went from San Francisco to China, and so then I didn't really get to go back to Australia. So just from China, I was like, well, I already have some stuff packed, so then just come back over here, back to America. So yeah, it was good. It all happened pretty fast, but as I said, super grateful.
This signing also represents a crucial culture shift, a move towards a no-ego reinforcement. In a league often dominated by drama, personality clashes, and questions of chemistry, Bibby is a breath of fresh air. She is a plug-and-play professional, a player who is not coming in to demand a certain number of shots or question her role. She understands the hierarchy. This is Caitlin Clark's and Aaliyah Boston's team. Her role is to complement them, to make their jobs easier, and to contribute to a winning culture. This is a stark contrast to other high-profile moves that can sometimes come with baggage and disrupt a locker room. The Fever aren't just collecting talent, they're building a culture. Bibby's team-first mentality, honed on the international stage, is the perfect ingredient for a young team trying to make the leap from good to great.
Bag and go.
Well, yeah, I was already in, so I went from San Francisco to China, and so then I didn't really get to go back to Australia. So just from China, I was like, well, I already have some stuff packed, so then just come back over here, back to America. So yeah, it was good. It all happened pretty fast, but as I said, super grateful for the opportunity.
Does it still feel chaotic now that you've been with the team for a day, or do you feel like a little bit settled now?
I feel a little bit settled. I have had a lot of sleep, which is great, so I think I've got over the jet lag a little bit, so feeling good.
You had the chance to go and play against this Fever team.
Yeah.
What kind of your impressions then, and how do you feel like you can fit into what they do?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, really physical team, tough, fast-paced, and I like that fast, style. So I think that suits me a lot.
The domino effect of her presence will unlock the entire offense, making every player on the floor more dangerous. For Caitlin Clark, Bibby's shooting means fewer immediate double teams, more open driving lanes, and a reliable kick-out option when the defense collapses. Clark's already historic assist numbers could skyrocket. For Aaliyah Boston, this is a game changer. For the first time, she won't have to face a wall of 3 defenders every time she touches the ball in the post. Bibby will pull one of those defenders 20 feet away from the basket, finally giving Boston the space she needs to dominate her one-on-one matchups. For other shooters like Kelsey Mitchell, the defense will be stretched thinner than ever, creating more open looks for everyone. Bibby isn't just a role player, she's a force multiplier, a single piece that makes the entire offensive engine run more smoothly and efficiently.
With all these Wave players, I kept saying there was one player that the Indiana Fever needed to sign, and today it happened. That's right, the Indiana Fever have officially signed Chloe Bibby. She showed up and showed out with all the teams that she was with in the preseason, especially with the Valkyries. And I kept saying she could spread the floor, she makes the three. She would be a perfect pickup for the Indiana Fever, except they took forever to sign her. So I was like, maybe they're not gonna sign her.
I mean, it's a challenge always, anytime you're integrating, but I think at the position that she'll play for us, really being somebody that's in that stretch four, middle of the floor, there's not a lot of nuance to how we'll use her. We'll shorten the playbook a little bit, make it specific to ways that we can continue to stretch the floor when we put her on the floor with AB.
Today you had a rare practice.
So, that is pretty straightforward and simple from head coach Stephanie White. When you hear her say she'll fit in next to AB, which means it seems like the plan for Bibby is to play in Aaliyah Boston minutes, where of course Aaliyah Boston is playing a lot of minutes on the floor.
And the coach's vision for her is brilliantly simple, which is exactly why it's so smart. Stephanie White has made it clear that they're not going to overcomplicate things. She told reporters they will shorten the playbook for Bibby, focusing on her primary role, stretch the floor when we put her on the floor with AB Aaliyah Boston. This isn't a desperate gamble, it's a well thought out, a strategic move with a crystal clear purpose. The simplicity of the plan means Bibby can contribute immediately, which is crucial given Clark's recent injury and the team's push for playoff positioning. It shows they aren't trying to make Bibby something she's not. They identified a specific need and found the perfect tool for the job.
Because I truly didn't see like who could fit the Indiana Fever system that was available that hasn't already been taken by other teams. It did end up being kind of like the obvious answer, which is Chloe Bibby, who again, I think is a good signing. I don't think is going to change the landscape of the Indiana Fever basketball. I do like that she's young. I do like that she has young legs. I love that she does fit into a more like modern style of basketball, 6 foot, plays outside of the arc. So I am very, 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 very curious to see how she does fit into the
A lot of people are already speculating this is because of the Caitlin Clark injury. However, remember, after the All-Star break, they do have some more cap space, so they could sign her to a rest of the year contract. I'm guessing what's happening is, one, when she was cut from the Valkyries after her hardship contract, but had some really good games and showed some really good positive things that like any team would want. I'm actually surprised she hasn't gotten picked up. So my guess is that they think they want to sign her for the rest of the year, whether that means Caitlin's out or they just want a 12th person. Using this 7-day contract as a test to see how she does. They've got a couple of games coming up. We know Caitlin's out, at least she was out last night, probably still out for the weekend. We don't know a timeline on her return.
The story of her signing is a testament to her commitment. When Chloe Bibby got the call from the Fever, she was in China, fresh off a stint with the Australian national team. But she didn't hesitate. She booked the first flight to Indianapolis, not even stopping home in Australia to rest. She described the whirlwind week as happening pretty fast, but emphasized that she was super grateful for the opportunity. That's the kind of dedication that championship teams are built on. She didn't just join a team, she jumped at the chance to be part of a mission. It's a journey that has taken her from Poland to Spain to Australia, all leading to this moment. This isn't just a job for her, it's the culmination of years of hard work.
If there's somebody and Stephanie White's looking, Chloe Bibby get in there way before Brianna Turner. I think Turner's still going to be collecting dust. Why we kept her on this team? The optics. Organization can't handle the pushback after releasing Brianna Turner. We got to suck it up. We got to grind it out. We got to let her collect her paycheck and collect that dust. We got to have her keep the bench warm. Dantis's threes aren't hitting. Chloe Bibby, not as tall as Dantis, but if we run a small ball lineup with Natasha Howard at the 5, maybe we do have Chloe Bibby in there. With Michaela Timpson at the 5. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can have Timpson get some more minutes, giving her the 5. Chloe Bibby in there, Sophie Cunningham in there, Lexi Hull or Kelsey Mitchell in there, with Ari McDonald in there.
This isn't just about adding another player, it's about completing a championship puzzle. For months, the Fever have felt like a team that was just one piece away from being truly special. They have the generational superstar in Clark, the foundational rock in Boston, and the veteran scorer in Mitchell. Now with Bibby, they have the crucial floor spacing forward that ties all those pieces together into a coherent, dangerous whole. The title hopes in Indianapolis are no longer just hopeful dreams. With this move, they're real, they're tangible, and they're heating up fast. The missing link has arrived, and the rest of the league has been put on notice.